Okay, so we're here with Alex, and he is going to. We're going to talk about the first question, the origin question. So, Alex, based on the atheistic worldview, what would you say everything came from? Where did everything come from?
Essentially, it all kind of started with the Big Bang, according to what physics believes right now, and the best we have to offer. It gets a little argumentative, what happened before that, but I don't think it's out of the reason to understand that eventually we can maybe understand what might have happened before that.
So here's the question.
Okay.
I've heard you say that the best model, and I would agree, is the inflationary Big Bang model,
Yes.
the hot inflationary Big Bang model. Different ways of saying it, but essentially we both agree with that. The question that I guess philosophers and the origin question I think you touched on is what happened before the Big Bang?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of theories on that. One of the ones I read right now, I can't remember whether this was in a Brian Greene book or Leonard Susskind book, was there's a multiverse where our universe is kind of one of a sea of, you can almost imagine as a foam. All the little foam bubbles are different universes, and they come and go and grow and pop, and all kinds of things happen. And there are all kind of probabilities of what kind of universes can form based on how the laws of physics end up being created within this universe. And of course, a lot of that is just pure kind of conjecture and theory that we don't really have a way of directly testing right now. But it's an answer, and it's an answer that we might actually be able to go and maybe test and see how it goes, other than just, well, it kind of happened because a book said so.
I guess the question follow up with that is if it still does it. Okay, so let's say we came from a multiverse. What happened? Where did the multiverse come from?
Yeah, and so that's kind of the question of the what is it? The little Russian dolls. Always one inside of another inside of another.
Right.
I don't know where it stops, and I don't think any atheist who really kind of understands what it means to be an atheist would say we know exactly where everything comes from, or that it had a certain stopping point.
Now, there is a beginning to the universe.
As far as we are concerned,
Okay.
the universe began with
Our
the
universe.
inflationary Big Bang.
Our universe had a beginning.
And essentially, as far as our universe is concerned, as far as we are concerned here on Earth, living our lives, that's where it started. That's where time started. That's where everything kind of started. Because as far as we know right now, if there were this multiverse thing out there, we can't really interact with it. It's with how M theory and all that stuff, it gets a little fluffier, but yeah.
So 2 questions.
Okay.
If we know there's a beginning, and we as in an atheist worldview, there's matter, energy, time, and space,
Mm-hmm.
and as Einstein and Hawking have confirmed to the best of our knowledge, all matter, all energy, all time, all space, and all this stuff around us had a beginning point at the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Therefore, wouldn't it by definition, anything outside of that natural process be nothing? Because by definition, if there was something beyond matter, energy, time, and space, that would be something supranatural or supernatural. So wouldn't that?
Yeah.
Do you see my question? Or
I
is
do.
That, okay.
I do. The thing is okay, great. So you have this, I guess, theoretical entity which exists outside of all this. How does it interact?
Well, I'm not even going there. I'm
not even
asking
going there,
as an atheist.
Okay.
If the definition of the atheistic worldview is matter, energy, time, and space had a beginning point, then what, as an atheist, would you say? Because I've read cosmologists and atheist philosophers, and they say nothing. I mean,
essentially,
there was nothing before the Big Bang. I mean, by definition, there had to be nothing because
that's
there
everything came
right.
from that.
So that's my
and I
quandary
agree with that as far as we are concerned. That's where our timeline started. It's where our matter, energy, and space came from. So again, there might have been something if the whole multiverse theory or whatever is correct.
But then that pushes it back to if there was something before the Big Bang and a multiverse, then where'd that come from?
Yeah.
So we're kind of in a infinite regress in some way, not knowing. Okay.
And so we right now scientifically can't necessarily deal with that question.
Okay.
But we're working on it. We continue working back and back and back. I think part of the atheist worldview is, mostly, or at least how it is in the U.S. and a lot of the circles that I've been around in atheists, it's based in the science. We might not have the answer right now, but we're working on finding it, and it's that process that's the important part of the worldview. You work back and back and back, and so it's the process that matters, of finding knowledge, finding truth, rather than do we have the answer, yes or no. It doesn't matter whether we have the answer.
Very well said. Now, my last question in origin is, so is the universe caused or uncaused?
It is uncaused as much as if I were to throw a pen in the air, it's uncaused that it would fall back down. There's no thing pulling it down, but just because of the laws of how physics works, how gravity works, that pen will come back down unless I throw it really hard, and I probably can't quite manage that. And so, all we know about how the universe, how it's grown, it seems to be that it's caused by just the laws of nature, the laws of physics that are in action. However, there's no sentience, there's no reason, there's no purpose behind it. It just is. So it's hard to say whether that's really cause or not cause specifically. It just it is.
But you'd say by definition, in the worldview of atheism, there was a beginning to the universe as far as we know scientifically, and that we don't really know what happened before. Might be nothing. Everything might have come from nothing.
Yeah.
Everything might have come uncaused from nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
You can't essentially rule out possibilities.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We don't have the information. We can't test it yet.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.